Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to Saturday Night Live and some jazz hands. I'm going to give it a couple minutes here, see if anyone joins me, and then someone can let me know if the connection is clear, if the Wi-Fi connection's clear here. It's pretty clear that the connection to spirit and source is as clear as we allow it these days. So without going too off the page, I'm going to just ask at this time that I'm a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving and kind, here to support our greatest and highest good at this time, as well as calm nervous systems. Because a calm nervous system is truly the heaven on earth experience. So today was our partial solar eclipse, and I'm sure some of you have seen some of the images out of like Eastern United States and Eastern Canada, and because the eclipse was happening right at the time the sun was rising, it looks like these two, it's just the initial, you see these two kind of like little horns coming above the horizon. And when I saw that image, I saw that later today, like actually late this evening. Before that, I had seen some really beautiful images of it. When I saw that, and, as I'm connecting here this evening, it's really like this eclipse is our opportunity to overcome obstacles that we previously, that may have felt were blocks and restrictions for a lifetime. It's 222 across the board. If anyone pops in, if anyone's here, can you just let me know if the connection's clear? I'd really hate to go too far into it. And the last time I did a evening live in this back room space, I know the stream was all pixelated and stuff, and I'd really prefer not to have that, and I'm sure you would too. So if anyone at any time can let me know if everything's fine, coming in clear, that would be great. So yeah, it feels like this eclipse, and energetically, I have to say, I feel very tired today. I woke up tired, and my under eye accessories are larger than normal, and not really quite sure why that is. It just feels like there's a lot of incoming support, actually. And we may not be sleeping well. I didn't really sleep that great last night myself. But if you remember, if you tuned in yesterday, and if you didn't, go have a look-see. The Freedom Friday, again, Eclipse edition, it was just yesterday. And all the messages shared here, for the most part, are meant to be timeless. So whenever you happen upon them, there will be something here for you. But this was the keynote of yesterday, Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. And the title that they had me put here, Solar Eclipse of the Heart, for this video. So it's something about us surrendering into our heart space, keeping the faith in what's going on, and freeing ourselves and others from the energy of judgment, and instead, by tuning into our own solar plexus, SOUL, solar plexus, we trust our gut, and we make choices and decisions based on truly how we're feeling and where we're intuitively being guided. Because yesterday, oh, no, be quiet. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, all pixelated, and I could have saved us all some time this evening if I was. So thank you for letting me know, and it's cool to stay quiet. I'm I this is why, because we're preparing to use our, well, not everyone's preparing to use their voice, I guess. Um, and sometimes it's into the silence that we go to hear. Hi! Oh my gosh, Elaine, welcome. Nice to see you. And you too, Creatrix. And thank you so much for letting me know. So this is where we are. And these cards were all like, I left them on the table. I haven't been back into this space since yesterday when we did Freedom Friday. And so the cards were still here. And, intuitively, I questioned, should I be putting these cards away and working with some new ones? And the answer was no. And so, the fact that this connection is titled Solar Eclipse of the Heart, it's speaking volumes to the inner work that's going on, and perhaps the inner dialogue, and to be mindful of the inner dialogue. Some of the messages coming through earlier today were mindful, Full, or mindful, Ful. And then it was sacred fool or gullible. So what, really, I did some writing around that. And, in this moment, all I'm guided to share is that we are at, it feels like a really critical point in our collective, like human family evolution, as well as our personal evolution. And this is where we're really being asked to keep our focus for the next 3-week period. Until the time of Easter. And during this time, we are surrendering to the divine. We are trusting that our focus on our path of service is going to support our ability to co-create. Service is co-creation. And as we serve, we heal. And it's about remembering who we are and our true worth and our value. And this is, remember, we're breaking free from ancient cycles, like eons of time. And at the same time, this ancient wisdom, remember with the blood moon lunar eclipse 2 weeks ago in Virgo, the message that I had to get out of bed and write at 3 or 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, ancient wisdom, modern mystic, simply spiritual. We are the soul, Soul, Lucian. Oh, yeah. I hope this year sees me getting some better, like a microphone, because today I was guided to work with, I won't do the tuning forks. Maybe I'll try to do the two I was guided to use today, but it just doesn't, it doesn't hit the same because I know that the sound can be a little bit off here. It's not crisp. And just intuitively, again, today I was intuitively guided to come into this back room, and all of my sound stuff, my setup is in here. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. So this was the one I was guided to, F, and look at that number, 12. It adds up to 12. And then this was the second one. Oh, how am I going to do that? And again, it adds up to 12. Frank. Okay, so this one, and when I worked with them today. It was, they wanted to be on the right side of my body. And when they found their spot, it was like it honed in. And there was some stuff happening. Yeah. Mm. So the fact that it was all on the right side and in and around this area, like ear, so ear, nose, and throat, there is a big clearing. And I think the clearing supports the voice. Yesterday, and again, I haven't really, because it's the work week, I finally hit the hump. So it's down on the other side from here. And in the time that I have, I've really 11 there. In the time that I do have, I've really been in this process of co-creation and going with the flow with priority front and center, my calm nervous system, my well-being, and the ease in the experience. So there is I trust in coming days I'll be guided to write more. But one of the things that came through yesterday was this idea that so many humans are full of mucus, and I just heard mold as well. And that's really interesting. Hmm. And what I'm hearing with that is with the awareness, it's funny because this is there's some clove in here, and I was guided to put some oil of oregano in here as well. And so I said mucus and mold. And there's this clearing, and it's like this old, it's almost like these things that we are, let's say, wouldn't say infected, or perhaps we are. It's like they have in their own way kind of held us back. And it's like that insidious nature of things, and we don't even realize that we're carrying, parasites or anything like that. And the reason I feel I'm guided to that is because, like, even in my lifetime, I'm only 54, I'll be 55 this year. But when I was a child, I can remember parasite cleanses were a thing, and maybe done a couple times a year. And talking to my parents and stuff, they did things when they were children. So it's almost like with through the 70s and into the 80s, with the push of big pharma and all these other branches that want to be a part of our divine life, this is where the massive disconnect is coming, and we get to this point, this completion point. Remember, we're this period of time, this cycle that's wrapping up, is going to be wrapped up in March of 2026. And again, we'll go into more of that in another video when I really have time to sit and gather my thoughts and do my investigative research about things. But it has to do with Saturn and Pluto, maybe. Anyways, 2026 is going to be this whole new cycle begins. So in the meantime and in between time, we are being called back. The Virgo full moon was the catalyst, if you will, the opening for us to really come online. And in doing so, we're being encouraged to keep going. And even though we're being encouraged to keep going, sometimes that means slowing down a little bit, like getting the message and trusting the message and taking action accordingly. Because remember, love is an action, right? And it's all about our ability to show up for ourselves as we continue to keep the faith. And surrender to divine's will in our life, work on clearing away any of this residual stuff. And this like mucus feels deep in the system, deep in the, I just heard uterine tract. Is there such a thing, the uterine tract? That's interesting. That's interesting. They're giving me all these like little interesting things right now as we're all wanting to be sort of quiet and go within. So perhaps these are just little tidbits, little gems that are being lobbed ever so lovingly out there tonight. And this is what it's all about, our ability to unapologetically and with confidence show up as ourselves. So let's get a couple of what cards are here. This is the Return of Spirit Oracle. So let's see, a couple cards, and we're going to wrap it up. We'll get a couple of Queen of the Sun. That one. Oh, are you kidding? 1616. Worthy. We had this the other day too. Did this show up yesterday? It may have shown up yesterday as well. True worth, worthy. We're just talking about this. And where is self-worth in the body? In, the space between the hips. That sacral chakra. We were born for this. The violet flame, Saint Germain. Purple, intuitive, highly intuitive. Highly intuitive, psychic gifts. It's like full on, I'm hearing full on disclosure on your path to bliss. Earlier today, I was guided to write the Joyful Muse. So I'm not sure, maybe we're going to be Wisdom of the Heart, the Joyful Muse, because there's something to be said about that. We're here for our joy. And if you're like me, you're probably beginning to feel it bubble up in your life. Like things are just, it's almost like lickety split. Everything's falling into place. And it hasn't been an overnight process. It's been a decades long process, right? Maybe it's been decades long. Maybe it's been just, a handful of years long or months long or weeks long. It hasn't been an overnight process. And I know some of my sisters here, we've been at this for years, decades, right? And many of us met at least a dozen years ago, 12, 13 years ago, lifetimes, right? And we're all meeting back up here in this lifetime. And it's like, oh my gosh. But that's the thing. And that was one of the messages that came through yesterday and the day before, was that it was like this celebratory energy. The ancestors were celebrating and excited for us and grateful for us, thanking us for our healing path of service, like the personal work that we do, because in a way we have freed them as well, because they weren't able to do it. And so as we've done this, it's almost like all of a sudden we are rediscovering what has always been within, that has lived under the experience. And perhaps the mucus thing is just simply an analogy of how things, it's not easy and you just peel back a layer and that's it. No, like sometimes you have to go back. It's like gross, right? Mucus. It's yuck. So working with the violet flame and Saint Germain, I paused when this card initially came out because I was really feeling the presence of Melchizedek before Saint Germain. And I waited to feel if Saint Germain would come to the fore, and he did. Gifted. We are gifted. You're gifted. I'm gifted. We're all gifted. Here a gift, there a gift, everywhere a gift. We've all come here for great things. And ultimately, it is to love ourselves more, to know, believe in our worth, like, because we are worthy just because. Yeah. And you know what? I'm with you. I'm totally with you, sis. Like, I'm with you. Like, we are in the thick of it. And yet, this is what we came for. And the energy work, as long as we're in this form, for the remainder of our time in this form, it is, those of us who came here, like those of you who are connecting here with me, it's not the path not everyone's here to take. And many, many years ago, I received the message that I was here as support, a healer for healers. And, like, ultimately, we all heal ourselves via the work that we do in our day-to-day life. And yet it's gatherings like this where we come together and we get confirmation. And that is the gift. It was 2112 there. That is the gift. The simple pleasures, ancient wisdom, modern mystic, simply spiritual. We are the solution. And for many of us, with this, what we know to be a high calling in this lifetime, the ability to hold and ground and anchor this higher frequency and then move through the world in our unique and gifted way, sharing. And sometimes, we need to also draw back, but it's like this ebb and flow, right? Well, that's going to change. That's going to change because, as you can see, the world is changing, right? There's this whole global, the globe is under pressure, right? And we're all feeling it. And I'm seeing that, like the weight of the world on our shoulders. There's something to be said about that visual and that analogy. And yet, like you, and like many beautiful women that came before us, and hopefully less after us, there has been the struggle. There has been the mostly financial insecurity in a world that's built all around this, um, finances. It's all fake. Um, yeah. And so it's shifting, though. That's ultimately what I want to say. We are going to begin to see the floodgates of abundance open. Have faith, trust, and yes, continue to take great pleasure in the simple things. And it's going to be those of us who have experienced the lean, mean streets of being human, right? Making our own choices and decisions since whenever. Yes. Yeah. And you know, I don't know, I don't want to get too sidetracked. What I do know is that, because I could go on, I've got lots of thoughts and feelings and opinions, and um it's shifting, and we are truly the calm nervous system supports the experience of heaven on earth, abundance, more than enough, legacy. Yeah. Yeah. And I think because this lifetime, many, many years ago, I don't say this, those of you who have been hanging out for years, you've probably heard me say it at some point in time. Many, many years ago, back in the 1990s, um, it's coming. It's a coming. Because we've been here doing the caretaking work. And so what I was going to say, if like me, I received the message many years ago that this was I think I was 25 at the time, so 25 years ago, 28 years ago, um, that this was it. Like, this was the last incarnation for me. And yeah, and not many people are on that similar path. My personal, like my life path number is a 9. And I've met a few, not lots. And for those of us who this may be our final incarnation in this dense human, human form, that means in this lifetime we came to to reach or that completion of the evolutionary cycle of the soul through the human experience. Does that make sense? And so for many of us, of course, as you know, or you may or may not know, we all are born with wounds and karma. And that was humanity, the collective, HUE, was given a clean slate back in 2012. And so since 2012, many of us have been trudging this road to our joyful co-creation, right? Struggling to survive, barely surviving, barely, keeping our nose above water, if you will. That's changing. And it's about, they keep saying to me and showing me, Lisa, it's streams of your creativity, co-creating with the divine, guiding you and supporting our soul to shine. They say to me, your soul to shine. So this is our time. And it feels like this next, like we're in a universal 9 year, right? Wrapping up a big cycle. And the spring of 2026, the universal 10, the wheel of fortune, the wheel of destiny, the wheel of fate, right? Turning in our favor. It's turning now, but as Elaine says, lots of breaks and pausing. And, it's necessary. It's absolutely necessary. It takes many of us, many of you, I'm sure, like myself, a lot of consistency and consistency and the ability to show up for myself in like new ways every day, just to go out into out to the jungle. I wish it was the jungle, really, not like, I don't know, out into the world. And even in the workspace, a lot of the ladies I work with, yeah, it's like we're in the birth canal, right? This year is like the birth canal. And some of us may have felt like we've been to hell and back or through hell and we made it out. And truly, the message that keeps coming in is heaven on earth is a calm and relaxed nervous system. And so our nervous systems are always under assault, right, from external forces. And here in the last 24 hours, all the weather, all the news, all they've been saying, careful, panic. There's going to be a big ice storm. It's going to be freezing rain. Be careful when you go out there driving. And everyone's like sharing this and going, oh my gosh, drive safe. Blah, 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 blah. Here, where I am, it's above 0 degrees. How is it going to be freezing rain? It's above 0 degrees. And literally everyone's like losing their mind. Everyone's so scared. Be safe. Stay home. Bah, 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 bah. It's like, folks, it's 3 degrees. It's not going to be freezing rain. Yeah. And I mean, okay, so it's rain. Like, now we're hyping the weather. They've been doing that for a while, but you know what I mean? Everything's hype. Politics are hype. It's all bullshit. They're playing you. Both sides, all sides, everybody's playing. Nobody's team humanity like we are, right? And so it takes great courage to move away from the group think, right? The think tank, the drunk tank, whatever. most are being led, maybe by the nose, by a nostril, allow us to move to a space where we're being led by our heart, where we're being led by our calm and relaxed nervous system, because we're doing the simple things like playing with our tuning forks, like laying on the earth or laying on our bed, just focused on our breathing, or in a warm bath, or whatever it is, whatever floats your boat, whatever helps you to be at ease moment to moment, the easier your natural gifts can flow. Again, we've got this card. So we had the recognition, we had worthy come out, the violet flame, recognition and caretaker, heart and solar plexus. And then we had the sexuality card come out again. And this is a key component to our journey, the connection with the other. And we can see that, right? We see it within a toxic relationship. We can see how detrimental that this energy can be within a toxic relationship. And yet we see very few examples of how incredibly powerful this energy can be, because that is a highly creative energy center in our body. And so I feel like, again, they're bringing the focus back, and this is the home of self-worth, right? We got worth out here twice. It's in the sacral chakra where our feelings of self-worth reside. It's our emotional center in our body. So it feels like working with Saint Germain and the violet flame, and perhaps Melchizedek, who is like a magician energy, alchemist. This is beautiful. Reciprocity. And that was a word that I had shared with someone like months and months ago. And when describing what I wanted and needed in a connection with another, and it's reciprocity, give and take, right? Balance, ease, generosity of spirit, photosynthesis. Yeah, transformation. This is like Empress energy, and you can see it's very much like I'm hearing like solitary journey, solo journey, but that doesn't mean we walk through life alone. So we have a 42 here. The next one that comes out is accomplishment. See, we're getting all the confirmation here. What was the other one we had? Recognition. So we've got accomplishment, recognition, and reciprocity. And these two cards are like golden. This is it. Stay golden, pony. Stay golden. We're doing it. And that actually looks a little bit like the eclipse coming up over the sunrise. And we have the 42, which comes to a 6. And then the 6, we're here to flip the script, remember? And, oh my gosh, I wrote something like that today. Oh, I literally, 3333, I literally wrote weaving today, that we are here weaving the sacred tapestry. That's not exactly what was written, because I was like automatic writing. So in this moment, I don't actually remember. And I don't have my book back here. Weaving, and this is number 22. This is like structural energy. This is high priestess coming online, ancient wisdom coming online, this celebratory, our ancestors. I know it can be annoying, right? Because it's been a long time coming. We've had, the hard road, the long walk. We've been going it alone. We've been doing it because out of necessity, because we've had to break free. We had to break these proverbial chains, if you will, these energetic chains. And the celebration is coming from our spirit team, in particular, our loved ones in spirit. I can't tell you how much Frank has been all up in my space for a couple of weeks now, and he just amps it up every day. It's just like a little more like, oh, here I am, almost like the showing off, the cocky confidence again. And so it's our loved ones in spirit that are celebrating, particularly, yes. and doing it joyfully, right? Stop, drop, and roll. We're tumbling. We're like the tumbleweed. We're tumbling, and then we come up and we're like, oh my gosh, my hair is a mess. Where the heck have I been? But it's really our bloodline, like our true, like, yes, Frank is a loved one in spirit. I'm talking about like through our lineage, and women through the feminine lineage, and men through the men. This is what we're freeing, and our personal work frees back like 7 generations, at least, ancient, more than 7, thousand eons of time, since the beginning of time. And when did time begin? So that's the celebratory energy. They're like, yes, because as we free ourselves, we have freed them. It's this really, I can't find the words to explain what it is, but it's a beautiful, loving relationship, and it's part of the agreement, like why we're here at this time. And look at that big wheel. It's like I know it's the weaver's spinning wheel, but it also looks like the steering wheel on a ship, right? The cosmic ship. We are here weaving the light divine, healing through all timelines, and calling forth and bringing forth. We don't even really have to call it forth, because our faith has brought us to this point. The inner work that we have done, our commitment to staying the course of our heart, to continue to show up, to do in the world however we're called to show up, to continuing to do it. We are about to really be rewarded. And again, that doesn't mean like nothing's switching overnight. We're going to begin to see it. And it's these streams, as I was saying. I don't even know if I'm completing the thought stream tonight, because I just feel like it's kind of all over, all over the place. 12:18, the eclipse. We'll blame it on the eclipse, not the rain. See. Oh, yes, streams. So when we allow ourselves to focus on keeping our nervous systems calm, not even keeping, to healing, so that we can have a calm nervous system, and then continue the upkeep of the maintenance of having a calm nervous system. It's a daily requirement that we show up for ourselves, tune in, and then act in loving ways accordingly. Take action accordingly. And when we do that, we're going to find that all of a sudden these ideas pop in. I have to say, I've been writing a lot in recent days. Like, there's a lot of information coming in for you. It may be dancing, or, singing, or weaving. Take care of yourself first. Surrender to the moment. You have been a caretaker for so many in your lifetime. It's time that you are a caretaker for yourself. This is speaking to me about balance, the yin and yang, and being the past, present, future, all lives now. And so in this moment, your eternal soul would like to thank you for your chosen path of service, and remind you that you are incredibly gifted, and you came to this lifetime for great purpose. And fulfillment is quickly approaching. It's on your doorstep, is what they said, and you can start to see it on the horizon. So with that being said, I think I have to run. I have to I've been drinking so much water. I have to go to the bathroom. So with that being said, I see you, I feel you, I love you, I trust, and I really hope that you have the courage to harness this loving, supportive energy from the eclipse. Continue to show up for yourself when you may be getting kicked in the butt. We're all feeling it. Sometimes we need the kick in the butt, and, we may not, like, Archangel Michael can be a little, rough and tumble. He'll give you a good boot to the butt from time to time. Those of us who have been doing the work, though, it's much more gentle this time. There's a lot getting the kick in the butt. Just a second. There's something they want me to tell you. I'll be back. I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get the thought out because I had to go to pee so bad. Anyways, I feel much better now. So one thing back to the creatrix saying about this celebratory energy and, making do with nothing or next to nothing, just barely, all of that. What the message that was really coming through is that we have been doing, all of you have been doing the inner work so that you could be prepared for this time, because those out there that are getting their asses kicked right now, they're, those who are just beginning to awaken to their spiritual essence. And then, as we awaken to who we are, we begin to see all the mucus, the BS, the sheer nonsense that has clouded our experience and that has kept us has wanted to keep us small, has wanted to keep us making do with nothing. Over here in Canada, Canadians have been lulled into the idea that it's a good thing to be broke all the time and that the government gets half of our money via taxes. I mean, have you heard of anything so redonkulous? It's crazy. And yet, it's hard. I guess what I want to spit out is that the preparation the preparation that you have done is about to pay off. Don't give up. Keep the faith. And trust, that celebratory energy is because the spiritual realms already know what is on its way to us, and we are being encouraged to act as if we've got it all, like we're doing it. We are co-creating. We're following our intuition. We're calming. We're keeping we're taking care of our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. And we are co-creating with the divine. Service as co-creation. My service, no matter how great or small, is a conscious act of co-creation with the world, with the divine, because we are surrendering to the divine. I honor the truth in surrender as it opens me to the gifts of divine grace. Grace, that unmerited gift that's available for each and every one of us on each and every breath. It's up to us, right? We have to believe that we are worth it. We have to believe that, and we have to stop so harshly and critically judging ourselves, right? And external, like, be the voice of love, be the voice of reason, Be mindful, FUL, how you speak to yourself, because everything is unfolding in divine and perfect order. You are worthy and deserving, highly, incredibly gifted individual. And, the captain of your ship, it's been written in the stars. And we were truly born for this. I believe tomorrow, April 1st, April 2nd, we should be able to see the seven sisters back in the sky, the Pleiades, and they'll be right above the crescent moon, I think. So that's exciting. The sky, we're starting to get a new sky. Have you looked up recently? It's all coming together. Sisters and brothers, we're coming together. We're doing it one heart at a time. And I am incredibly grateful for all of you at any time and through all timelines for all of the beautiful heart-centered work that you do and all the healing. I thank you so very much. And I will connect with you here again Monday. Yeah, Monday morning. So until then, everyone, have a great evening. Have a great Sunday. Self-care Sunday. Do something just for you. Take some time out. You are so worthy and deserving of your time and attention. I see you. I feel you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.